Tere te wakaitua, te wakarakaraga, tere rauta, tere rātai. Tēnei te iwi te kau mai nei, no wiwi, no wāwā, no ti rautaronga huru. Te marama kawhanake. E ngai wi o te motu tēnā koutou katoa, nau mai, ahu mai. Ki te marae nei o koko hine watu I Te Teko, te whakapāhotanga a te hui. Kia ora, good evening, and welcome to this very special broadcast of the Hui here tonight. Broadcasting live from Koko Hino Marae in Te Teko, about 25 minutes north of Whakatane for the uninitiated, where tonight we are here on the final night. Wā poroporoaki, te pōporoaki, ki tēnei o ngā rangatira, ki tēnei o ngā aumangia, ki tēnei o ngā horangi tāpui tāmaka rā, kia Tā Hirini Moko Mead. As you can see, we are here on the grounds of Koko Hino Marae, and just in the ancestral house of Orua Taupare is the karakia happening tonight before the last night where Te Hirini Moko Mead lies in state. There have been 3 days of tangi already, where Māoridom has come to show their deep regard, respect, admiration and love for distinguished Professor Hirini Moko Mead. But now we will take you to a special report by Te Ao Māori news reporter Michael Cugley, who was on the ground here yesterday and managed to speak to many of the representatives who made their way here to Koko Hino today, where they began at 9 o'clock this morning, and in particular the representatives of Te Kingitanga and of course Te Riki Nui, Koini ngā waihono I te pō.
He kura e tangi hiana. E te motu whānui kua whakaeke nei ki runga o Koko Hino I te rā nei.
Te tiroa ki nei, I waipukingi atu rā te marae. Hei waho rā o Koko Hino, nō reira kaitaku pāpā kei.
Me, not Joe, but me.
Just a tiny little. Rere atu rā ki tō wānanga nui o te pō. Ki wainga ki ngā atua kauru e ki roto I te kaununui, kauru e ki roto I te kauroro, kauru e ki wainga ki a rātau. He atua he tupua ina e nei.
E pari ana rā te taikihea, haruru kau ana te moana atoi, e pari ana rā ki te taikirunga o turu roi mata.
Ko te rangi tuatoru tēnei o te uhunga o Tā Hirini Moko Mead, te manu I whāngai hia te motu ki te mātauranga Māori.
Well, nā Hirini I mōhio tiai ngā matahuhu o te tikanga Māori, I māra mai te tangata ki te tikanga Māori. Te mātauranga Māori nei, e nā kupu e haere ngātahi nei me te ingo o Tā Hirini Moko Mead.
Nō reire, he tuahangata ka tika. Me uaua ka kite I tērā momo tangata. Kua ko tahi rautau ia e takahi ana I te mata o te whenua. A kene pia ka ko tahi rautau anō ka kite anō I tērā momo tangata.
I nā te nui o ngā mahi kua te tuki I a Tā Hirini Moko Mead I roto I ngā tau, he ahorangi, he kaituhi puka puka, he ringa whao, ka mutu, he toa mō te iwi.
Toru ana he ngā tāngata pēnei I a Tā Hirini, I a Tā Hirini, nea. Ākua ngā mamahi mō te ao Māori tonu.
Te mea nui ki aia me tū pakare koe I te kei o tō waka ki te tū motuhake mo te iwi Māori koe rā tāna tino whāinga.
A ko ona pānga hoki e rā e kore rawa e wareware tia.
E whātau e mahi tāna ki Waimarama, koe anō hoki te hea mana o tō mātou komiti Traipara o te rawa, te hea mana o te komiti marae, ko Hirini Moko Mead. Nāna I aku waku pāpā, me aku whae I te kāinga, kei te kōrero tunuhia tōna ingoa I tēnei rātonu nei.
I te wā I whakawahia a kingi tuheitia, nāna te reo mihi, te motu. Ākua, ko mea mā, ko tāmati mā, ko api mahuika mā, awai atu, ka taka kia Hirini. Ko te reo mihi kia kingi tuheitia I te wā I whakawahia e ia. Nō reira, ko te I tēnei rātunu ka tāma I te Riki Nui, nā wahono I te pō, I runga anō I te ara whanaunga.
E rangatira eia, he rangatira eia o mātou ki te aru haere atu I te tahi huarahi, I whakaarohia e rātau.
Hei a pōpō tuguna ai ngā karakia whakamutunga ki runga o te taonga o te mate nei, kia wātea ai te ara mōna, kia rere ia, ki te kāinga tūturu ōna mātua, ōna tīpuna. Michael Cugley, Te Ao Māori News.
Michael Cugley there with their very special report from Te Ao Māori News. And our thanks to Te Ao Māori News and Whakaata Māori for working with us here tonight so we can bring you this live broadcast from Koko Hino Marae. The people of Te Pahipoto, Ngāti Awa, have been looking after the multitudes of Māoridom who have made their way here over the last 3 days. So much work goes into making sure they can manaaki and look after the thousands of people who have made their way to this marae to pay their respects to distinguished Professor Tā Hirini Moko Mead. Chief amongst them has been our next guest. He has been there right from the time that the word came down that Tā Hirini Moko Mead passed at the age of 99 on Friday. He joins us now. He rangatira no te iwi o Ngāti Awa. We're joined, of course, by Joe Hariwira. E te rangatira, Joe, tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe, Julian. Tēnei ka mihi ake kia koutou. I tēnei o ngā pōwhakamutunga. O tō tātou nei pau Tā Hirini Moko Mead. Ko ia i ngā rā, kua pahure ake nei te nui o ngā kōrero whakanui i tēnei o ngā pau tikanga ahorangi o roto mai o Ngāti Awa. Me wana mahi mō Ngāti Awa mō te iwi katoa.
Joe, tēnā koe, thank you so much for joining us, by the way. I know you'd much rather be in there at Karakia, so thank you for availing yourself to us. Can I ask, you have seen and heard a lot over the last 3 days, but you also would have felt a lot for a man that you knew well and admired. What are you feeling now?
I'm feeling a sense of loss, a sense of grief at this particular moment in time. This is the last night at Pōporo Poroaki for our kaumātua. And over the years that I have known Tā Hirini, the work that he has done for te iwi Māori, mai rāno, mai wana from his teaching days right through to the universities, and to his work around mātauranga Māori. Kare e tangata i tuatu ia ia, te whakatakoto, te tuhi wana kōrero, wana whakaro ātuhi nei. Ko te marea, pāniui nei wana puka puka, ka mau te wehi kia rātau.
He obviously recently just released his book Mātauranga Māori. And at that launch, he still said there was much to do. For a man of 99 years, that not only encouraged me, it also kind of bewildered me slightly that someone at that age was still keen to get work done. Right up until his last seconds, he was working. What was there left to do?
I think he felt a sense of loss, I suppose, in terms of the future. From what he was telling myself and Iwi, he was not the font of all knowledge, but the knowledge that he was given, that he learned from his elders, there was still much to do. And I ruku te hohonutanga o ngā kōrero, o ngā tikanga, mo tāua te iwi Māori, kia pai ai ngā whakatipuranga kai te haere ake, I roto I tēnei ao huri nei. Nō reira, he always said that I am not the font of all knowledge. We have much to learn, and my role is to progress by planting seeds for our future generations. Ki te whakaore te hinengaro me te ngākau, kia te tiki pai ai tā tātou noho I tēnei o ngā ao huri.
I'm interested you say that, because for many of us, whether we're budding academics or those who just have a passion for Te Ao Māori and for things Māori, we almost thought of him as the font of all knowledge. He was the spring that we would run to get that invigoration and inspiration to learn, or to undertake the process to learn. When you hear all of that being said by Māoridom over the last 3 days, what do you make of comments like that?
Hirini wasn't one for labels. He said, I am a pononga of the people. E pononga hau. Nā ko nā te kōrero I ara mai au, he rangatira he pononga, he rangatira.
Nā koe.
Koia I roti te hū Māori I roti te rangi Māori te tuku I ana whakaaro. Ahakoa tohe, ahakoa rai ki te rai te kaupapa, ko tāna ka noho, ka whakaaro, ka tahi, ka kōrero I wana whakaaro. Koe konei te tangata te oi, he pai tēnā wena kōrero hei whakaore te hine.
He could be quite a hard case too, eh?
Oh, he was a bit of a hard case, yes. People look at him and, academic, so a lot of people think, oh, academics, you'll just
Maroke.
ihu ki te rai.
Boring, maroke.
Pene whero, engari, ka tae ai te whakakata te tangata.
Oh, yeah.
I rote I ngā āhuatanga o te wā, o te kaupa. Koira a Tā Hirini.
Yeah, I think it's important we also acknowledge his whānau. Lady June, of course, who supported him for many years until, of course, her passing. And then his tamariki, Hinauri, Aroha, Linda, leaders in their own right. But also Ngāti Awa, he has set a trajectory for Ngāti Awa to go forward. But also for Mātātua, I know he was keen for Mātātua Waka to unite.
Yes.
What did he mean by that?
I think this is one of the tasks that he left for myself and for Ngāti Awa. He maha ngā kaupapa I whakarerea mai iho. Ko tētahi o ngā kaupapa, anei ho hepa, mā hau, e kimi he huarahi ki te whakakotahi I a Ngāti Awa tuatahi. Muri mai o tēnā whakakotahi I a mātātua waka. Koira wana whakaaro, koira tētahi o ngā kaupapa, ko whakarere ihu mai e Tā Hirini. Anō nei, ko enei o ngā kaupapa pēnei nā te kōrero ho Hauterongo. Ho Hauterongo ki ngā iwi, kei ngā taha o te rohe o Ngāti Awa. Koira I te rā I mate mai tana kaupapa. Ki te ho Hauterongo ki tuatahi kia te whakatohea. Ko te tikanga ko tā tātou hui me te whakatohea hei te tūreia tūmai nei. Nā, ko tāna ki te minga Ngāti Awa. Me whakamoia ngā raru I wanga I a Ngāti Awa me ngā iwi kei ngā taha. Koira tana hā whakamutu.
What a legacy. Working right to the end.
Right to the end.
Yeah.
His mind never stopped.
Amazing.
Ka patuwaia mai kia hau ki ngā
Awake pōake.
Awake pōake, kai te haere tonu te pinati o te karaua nei.
I know this will also be a point of pain for you, losing someone you admired and respected and loved. And I just want to thank you for allowing us to broadcast here tonight, for allowing us to be a part of the kaupapa, but also for speaking to us tonight. I know that you'll be feeling this keenly, and I really appreciate you taking the time with us. Te karangatira, Joe. Tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe tēnā.
Kia ora maira. That was, of course, Joe Harawira of Ngāti Awa. We're now going to take you to a very special story we did with distinguished Professor Hirini Moko Mead in 2024. We sat down to interview him for the podcast Indigenous 100, and Mahitahi Media have generously allowed us to play a part of that tonight. The interview was held in the library that bears Hirini Moko Mead's name, in the archive room that bears his wife's name, Lady June Mead. No rere te iwi kia whakarongo tātou ki e nei kōrero. This is a part of our Indigenous 100 interview with distinguished Professor Hirini Moko Mead in 2024.
I don't know how much they actually know of what I have done. And I think even my people here really don't know. And that's because I've lived so long. And the ones who did know have gone. They've passed on. And the next generation that's come along, don't really have the same kind of knowledge of what I've done. They just know, oh, he koroua tēnei. He has a bit of mana around here. And I'm treated with respect. And so I gather from that the legacy is that they do, some of them do remember what has been done and what I have achieved for the iwi, and the many battles that I fought. And one could say that, yes, I did walk the talk.
I also get a sense of the hand of, I don't know how you feel about it when people talk like this, but the hand of tupuna at play.
Oh, there's a lot of that, a lot of that at play, yes. And I'm very, very grateful for it, actually. Once we got into the Waitangi tribunal process, I met regularly with the kaumātua. Just regularly, every time we struck some problem, call all the kaumātua together. And the kaumātua then were different from the ones now. They were still hooked in, you know, to the older ways.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I mean, it's a generational shift. And I think with each generation, they take away something. We never quite know what it is that they took away. But I would say the Wairua Māori, they may have been more colonized than us now, but they had this wairua of whanaungatanga. They were more cohesive as whānau. And I think poverty caused that. That was a response, and that whānau had to. They had to work together to survive. And this generation of elders actually showed up very clearly what colonization had done. These are the ones, ko pakeke, kāri te mōhio ki te reo. Kāri te mōhio ki ngā tikanga. It seemed to me that generation after Edward and them showed up the consequences of all of the policies that had been promulgated and forced upon Māori.
And detrimental.
Yes.
To Māori.
And here they were, wanting to become matua, but didn't have the reo, the whanau, the family just breaking up,
No.
Going to town, going somewhere else, and you're left here with just a little core of them, trying to hold the mana of their marae or their whānau. So it's a generational shift. I think the next one coming up is stronger than the present one.
Really?
Oh yes, you can see the signs. Nui ake ngā mea ko mōhio ke te rau. Ngā tamariki, ka te mōhio. Engari ko rātau mātua, ka hare te tino mōhio, ko e te ka te mōhio. But that generation of mātua though, present one, I think it's less culturally prepared than the kids that are coming up now.
What is mātauranga Māori?
Yes, we come to the basic question. Well, we have to go back a bit.
Yeah.
I think Mātauranga Māori is a legacy. It's a rare sort of taonga that just in recent years we began to see it again, because the colonizing forces of the country had determined that no one in New Zealand, as it turned out, I thought it was just anti-Māori, but it turned out nobody. Now, the teaching system was not to be used to teach anything Māori to anybody, to any child. It was prohibited in Māori schools, and as it happened, by just not permitting it and allowing it in general schools, Pākehā kids didn't know anything either. But it was the damage done to the reo, the leadership system, the knowledge system, the religious system. All of those were immediately targeted by the settlers who came here and the missionaries, them combined. And so through suppression, policies of suppression, Mātauranga Māori disappeared. Just went out. Along with it, te reo. Along with it, all our kōrero about the rangi and papa, all our karakia, mostly slipped away. Except in certain places, far away from Pākehā influence, they survived. Places like parts of Ngāti Pro way away, way out. And Tūhoe is one of them, Hune, and several places up north. They still spoke te reo. They still knew their mātauranga, their tikanga. They still knew about rangi and papa. And there were still one or two people who knew karakia. And it was during Te Māori in 1984 when we discovered that there were about that many, and you were even stretched to get that many tohunga who actually knew karakia tūturu and could foot it with Henare Tūpāngai. At that time, he was the guru, and actually a very learned old man who knew his karakia and was keen to share it. And so the whole lot of stuff, was suppressed. And then I think once the Treaty of Waitangi Act was passed, things began, to move. And then all the treaty claims began to happen, and all this information began coming back. And I think that's when Mātauranga Māori re-emerged.
We have some political representatives who are even questioning not just the relevance, but the place of a constitutional document like the Tiriti, where we hear politicians talking about issues like co-governance in the way that they do, which in their view shouldn't exist. Do you think that might happen?
Well, I do, but I think that we can do something about it. My view, you know, all of those people who are bucking the direction in which things are going are simply idiots. They're in the way. And I think the movement will keep going, despite the idiots. Because there are now a lot of Pākehā people who are joining us in this movement. When you look at all the kapahaka groups in our primary schools, some of them absolutely all Pākehā.
No Māori, huh?
Just no Māori. But they're in it. And their parents are supporting them. So I think that there's a movement that is underway now. And I think the idiots can't stop it.
The words of distinguished Professor Sir Hirini Moko Mead, currently lying in state in his ancestral house of Orua Pare here at Te Pahipoto, Te Marae o Koko Hino. And as you can see behind us, hopefully you can see with the lights, it is pouring down now and the wind is blowing. But some might say that's the aroha of our mātua tūpuna in preparation for the farewell to a great man, a man deeply loved and admired by many, those who have made their way here to the Marae o Koko Hino over the last 3 days. And of course, Te Pahipoto has looked after those people throughout the last 3 days, and someone who is very close to the man we call Koro Hirini Te Koroua joins us now. She is Wairangi Black. She was with him in his last moments as well. Wairangi tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe.
Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate your time. What does it mean for you now to know that someone so beloved by many, and of course by you as well, has now been lost to us today?
Whakawairani katoa mahara, tanuku katoa oroto, e te rirohana o tēnei koraua. E ara e koraua noi ho nāku, o te whānau e nari he koraua no ngā tiawa, o tōna hapu o te Pahipoto, no ngā hapu maha, te rangi hauhiri, era, kua tanuku katoa. Ko te toki, te tangatanga i te rā, te nohengohe i te wai, kua riro atu. Ko koro, ko tā.
You were with him in those last moments, eh? That must be something that sticks with you, even now.
Even now. Even now.
Talking, teaching, trying to educate people right up until the last moment,
Right up to the last moment.
What was he talking about?
How absolutely lucky are we? Ne. Tēnei koraua, i whai wāhi mai kia mātai, te hungarana tahi. Ne.
O he rangatai tonu tāu.
Mo te aha te take, well, kei te whakautu tonu au i taku pātai.
Tēnā koe.
He aha i pērā ai. Pōhehe katoa mātai, te kuhu mai a koro i Tabarangi, me te whakaaro kanoho pēr ki te kaina. E tahira, ko pērā i roto i nā tau, ko kuhu mai ki wētahi kaupapa, wētahi wā, kua noho ki te kaina, ki te marumaru, ki te mahanga o tana kaina. Engari, i tai mai. I tai mai a koro. Ka ki te atu i aia, i waho tana runanga, o tana whare. Ka haere atu au ki te tūwhera i tana kuaha. Ka tū mātai, o roto i tana whare. Ka pōhiri i aia, ki tana tūrungo hoai. Ka noho puku. Ka noho ki roto i te puku. Pērā, ne, ka noho ki roto i te puku. Te tatari ki ati no tau te koraua. He hapea he kupu. He hapea he kupu. Moe huri katoa, tawa pō. Ne, ia pō. Ki te āta ki te ata whaiwā, ki te tangi akutani, ki te rere i te hupe. Te mea he kaupapa tonu, te haere ake nei. Ko te manaaki, ko te tiaki, i te mano tānata, kuhu mai ki aia, te whakaatu i te aroha.
What has that been like for you to see so many make their way here to what has been the heaving and thriving metropolis of Te Teko, of the centre of Māoridom over the last 3 days? Well, what has that been like for you to see, to hear, to feel, to know just how beloved he was by so many throughout Māoridom, throughout Aotearoa New Zealand?
Absolutely heartwarming. Ka repea, definitely not surprising, nera. E hea ke nā haora i o te iaia, creating books, a narrator in his own right. A puka puka, a waiata, a kupu aroha, a kupu whakaohoho i te hunga tātou. And of course, Māoridom, not just Māori, non-Māori, came in the multitudes today. Ki runa o te pahipoto, ki tāna aroaro o tāna whare o rua taupare, a tāhua.
What has it been like for Ngāti Awa to have this huge event happen here? As you say, to look after the multitudes. You know, there's a whole swathe of people out there doing the main, let alone those who are out here. I mean, it's raining now, but beautiful that way.
Yeah.
Beautiful. But everyone out here, the whole operation, and of course the karaki are happening now. What's there been like for you? Just seeing so many people come together. Is this the unity, the kotahitanga that he was looking for from our tātua that he used to talk about? The kotahitanga that he was looking for Ngāti Awa that he used to talk a lot about as well?
Under the guidance of Tā Hirini Koro, he composed the waiata, ne, tomo mai. And not only did he compose the waiata, the kupu, he was very instrumental in ensuring that he made his way around to all Ngāti Awa whare, organisations, and hapu, ki te noho tahi. And I'm not sure if that's a practice of all composers of waiata. I know of composers who have created waiata, ka tuku i te waiata, mā rātau, mā te kapa e whakatinana. Engari, Tā Hirini, he went around to all his hapu o roto o Ngāti Awa, ki te whakarono, ki tāna waiata, ki te mātaki ana ārina, ki te kōrero i nā kupu o tāna waiata. So during those years, and even prior to those years, i te noho kotahi a Ngāti Awa, i era āhuatanga ona.
What must Ngāti Awa do now? What is it that he wanted Ngāti Awa, wants Ngāti Awa to do now, do you think, Moiram?
He wants Ngāti Awa to share stories, ki te kōrero, ki te whakaputa whakaaro, ki te whakatutuki awa whakaaro. I think a big part of why he sat with many rangatahi, whether it be over coffee. Okay, we'll let you have that one. Whether it be over coffee, whether it be at his home, at his kainga, even via email. Koro was even proficient at texts and emails. And moiho katoa ki tawa āhua, ai, te whakamahi tana waia, and could call you at any moment. And ki te kōrero, ki te whakawhiti kōrero, to know what you're thinking and to share what he was thinking. And for us to turn that into something. Turn it into something. What are we going to do with that information now? Create a song, create a haka. Use that knowledge and do something with it. So I guess for me, as a rangatahi, and I just fits in that category maybe, share our Ngāti Awa pūrākau, share our stories. Whakaputa i wā tātou kōrero a tātou waiata. Ai.
As you say that, I'm thinking of something, and it goes like this. Rukuhia te matauranga, ki o nā hohonutanga, me tōna whanuitanga, kia tū tangata ai, tātou i nara e tū mai nei. gonna miss him, eh?
Koe nā te whakatau aki a te karauwa. Nāna iwa kupu, e o haki kia tātou.
Moerangi tēnā koe. Thank you so much for joining. I know, just like Joe, you'd rather be there than here. I know they're going to have a heck of a poro waki night tonight. It's a farewell one. So thank you for joining us.
Kia ora.
Kia ora,
Tēnā
maera.
koutou.
That was Moerangi Black with us here tonight. And that is us tonight, our broadcast for the Hui, special broadcast here, Kōkō Hino Marae, paying homage to a great New Zealander, one of our leading, if not leading scholars, who passed away on Friday at the age of 99. The funeral preparations are that tomorrow at 10 o'clock, the service will be held here at the marae, and then Hirini Moko Mead will make his final journey to his resting place at the Waihi Tapu, just not far from here actually, the Waihi Tapu, the Tapu o te hapu o te Paipoto. Thank you for joining us here tonight. It's been a privilege to be here. Our thanks to Te Paipoto, to the people of Ngāti Awa, to Runanga Ngāti Awa, and all of the kāhui of Ngāti Awa who have welcomed the mini here over the last few days. Our thanks also to Whakaata Māori, Te Ao Māori News, for joining with us and for supporting us in this live broadcast here tonight. Kia tau, ngā tau whirotanga. O te mana tā whiorangi kurunga kia koutou katoa e TV Māori, kia mau ki te tūranga o te patukua te haumi e, hui e, tā iki e. Thank you, Zantana. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Ko te reo, te take.
Nā te puna whakatongarewa, te hui, i tautoko.